Guys, what is this little guy you see spinning around on the table in front of you? Well, this is the Boker Plus Kaizen, and it is a very unique little knife. I did not expect to like this knife as much as I do. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this around and we're gonna take a look at it. There's not a lot that you really can do with something this size, but I'm gonna tell you how I feel about this knife. So let's take a look at it from above. Guys, like I said in the intro, this is a fun little knife. This is the Boker Plus Kaizen in D2 and G10. And for as small as it is and as sleek as it is, it's still a flipper. So first things first, we're going to put a spec sheet up right here where you guys can go ahead and see that. And we'll get some size comparisons out of the way here just real quick. First knife you're going to see is the Benchmade 940, which on its own is a very sleek, very thin gentleman's folder style EDC, but you can see way thinner, way smaller than even this thin Benchmade. So your next knife's going to be the QSP Penguin, which is also not a very large EDC pocket knife. You can see that the Kaizen's a little bit longer than the Penguin, but the Penguin is just way bigger. And like I said, this is not a big knife by any long stretch of the imagination. So as always, your final knife is going to be the Chris Reese Sebenza Large 21, and you can see just way bigger, just dwarfs this little Kaizen. So if you're new to the channel, I know I got a lot of new subscribers. You will usually, you will always see this as the final comparison because it's a knife that most people are going to know. So let's go ahead and get this out of the way and talk about the Boker Kaizen. So let's go ahead and crack into this little guy. This is a very unique little knife. It's got some good points. It's got some bad points. And it is a lot of fun to have around. It definitely is one of those knives that is out of character for me to like, but it is absolutely a lot of fun. You can carry this in some unique ways. This is nice and slim. You can put it inside a shirt pocket. I know most of you guys know that, button-up shirts on the left front pocket typically have a spot where you can put an ink pen or your reading glasses and hang them off. But this thing will fit in there just like that. So you're looking at fish scale G10 with weight-reduced aligners on an already light knife, deep carry pocket clip, a very slender D2 blade that for as thin as it is, still has got, as narrow as it is, still comes down to a pretty decent behind the edge and cuts fairly well with certain things. I mean, for most things like opening mail, cutting open a package, this thing is great. The grind on it is done really well. I have seen that Boker has definitely stepped up their quality over the last few years. You got a beautiful little swedge on this. It's got kind of a small Japanese Tonto look to it, almost like a dagger, like a Tonto dagger look to it. It's done as a liner lock, and the action on it for such a small knife is very good and snappy. In hand, it's fairly comfortable. It is very small, so that makes it a little bit difficult to use on certain things, but you do absolutely have a small little flipper tab, which is part of the lock. So that's your lock radius, your lock face, and then your lock bar kicks over onto that, and it gives it a very clean feel while it's open. There is nothing there, but yet it is still absolutely a flipper, and the action on it is very good when you flip it. Like I said, there is a lot of weight reduction inside these liners on what is a very light knife. I'm going to tell you right now, it is extremely light. You can put this in your pocket and forget it's there. It almost got washed twice because it would be in a pocket and I would just absolutely forget about it. It's got a very straight profile to it, and you can do some heavy. I did do some heavier cutting with this. It is not great for that, but it will do it in a pinch. It's got this really unique look, like I said, because you have these huge pivot collars on. I mean, they're not huge. On any other knife, that would just be a pivot collar, but on this, it's a huge pivot collar. And like I said, you have this pocket clip that you can absolutely remove and just stick it down inside like a shirt pocket, a pants pocket, without this, like you would carry a traditional slip joint knife, because it's got about the same dimensions. It is extremely small. If you're somebody that likes lanyards, I don't dislike the look of this lanyard hole because it goes with this aesthetic of the knife. I actually think this knife would really be really cool with kind of a wide, broad, almost like a ribbon style, maybe eel tape instead of 50 cord type lanyard. I think that would look cool on this. But yeah, I mean, you've got a lot of really cool features on a small, affordable knife that is just a lot of fun. And like I said, really good access to the liner lock. And once you get used to how you flip it, it really does flip really well. It does have a little bit of a transition here. So you have a little bit more thickness up at this part of the knife than you do have down here at the tail. And so all in all, not only is it a very fun knife, it's unique, it's going to get you attention, and it is very, very attractive. So that's all the good stuff. Now, there are some negatives on this knife. I can't even try to say there aren't. So let's flip this around. We'll do some of the bad stuff. Like I said, with the good comes the bad. Flip side of the coin, flip side of the knife. I always say that. But yeah, let's go ahead and look at the bad things that I've noticed. So first things first, before we get into any of the other stuff, it's the elephant in the room. This knife is very, very small. Now, if you're like an executive, if you work in an office and you wear a suit and slacks and things like that, this might be a knife that's up your alley. You can put it down inside the pocket of a jacket, but it's just too small for most of the day-to-day tasks that I would be doing. It just lacks the comfort of cutting and ability. And it's just not a real good option for an EDC for me. As a novelty and something I would carry occasionally, yes. But it's just not that full-time, always in pocket kind of EDC. So the next thing, the jimping. The jimping is basically just, it's not even really there. You can see it's completely rounded off. There's no sharp spots. You really don't get any benefit from having that jimping, except just for maybe aesthetics. And you guys have heard me say, I don't like jimping. I don't like the way jimping looks. So if you're going to add it, it needs to be functional for me. The next thing, the pocket clip is really, really tight. And for such a small, that's a thick pocket clip and it's really tight. It is tight in and out of pockets, especially considering this textured G10 that you're looking at with that fish scale pattern that is pretty deeply milled. It does not matter thickness of pockets. It is tight on all pockets. It kind of was tearing up my jeans. It absolutely tore up the top of the pocket on a couple pairs of my track pants. So the pocket clip, if it was mine, I would take it off and I'd probably loosen the tension on it. Or I would try to find something that maybe fit this screw pattern that I could replace it with that would more meet my needs. The other thing about the pocket clip, it is a little bit of a hot spot. I mean, on a small knife like this, no matter where you put that pocket clip, it's gonna kind of be hot. It's not super hot, but it definitely makes this end of the knife, this part of the knife, feel way thicker than I would like it to. I've taken the pocket clip off and used it that way, and it's way more comfortable. It is night and day more comfortable without the pocket clip. So it's not a bad pocket clip. I will say that. It's not a bad style pocket clip, and it's not super hot, but it is kind of in the way. The next thing is, as attractive as I like this little butt cap, these corners are a hot spot. More than the pocket clip itself. So when you're holding it, like that digs right into your hand. That corner is right in your hand where you're trying to use it, and it is uncomfortable. I've even got fairly tough, workers' hands, and it definitely still does bother me a lot like that when I use it. And then the absolute worst part about it, even though I do like the concept and it's a lot of fun, that is fairly sharp. That is fairly sharp, and it is uncomfortable to flip that. You've probably seen me doing it. I'll get a little bit lower on it and I'll try to do it that way where I'm not up on the sharp point. But the problem is a lot of times when you do that, you miss it. You pretty much need to get up on that sharp corner to flip it. And that's your only option for deployment because there is no nail nick here or something like that. I would like to have seen, since you've got this little area, maybe put a nail nick in here. But the other flip side of that is the detent on it is pretty strong. So I don't know if that would work. You can hear it snap in. So Is it unique and attractive and cool and interesting? Yes, it absolutely is. Would it be something I would purchase? I don't think so. I think this is one that I would pass on. I would probably borrow it from time to time if I had a friend that had one. Like Tino and I share knives, and he borrows stuff of mine, I borrow stuff of his, and we just kind of carry stuff back and forth. That would be something I would think about doing with this knife. But as far as a full-time everyday carry outside of me working in an office, I don't think so. So, it definitely is unique. It's definitely interesting. I definitely enjoy having it here, and it is a lot of fun. And it absolutely shows that Boker has stepped up their game and started to produce much better quality knives. This is a very good quality knife. Now, I can't remember the price on this. I will put an affiliate link down below. I'll put the price here so you guys have a guess. But I will find an affiliate link for this, and I will put it in the description and in a pinned comment in the comment section. So, guys, let's turn this around. Do some final thoughts on this really fun little knife.
So like I said, guys, this thing is not something you're going to do a lot of heavy cutting with and things like that, but it is a lot of fun. And if you do absolutely just need something that is not intrusive, it's not big, it's not going to raise any red flags at work, this is an awesome little office pocket knife folder. So yeah, I mean, I did not expect to like it as much as I do. I really like this thing a lot. I'm very much impressed with how much fun it is and how well made it is for such a little knife. Like I said, I will find a purchase link. I'll put it in the description below. So guys, I really appreciate all the new subscribers. If you're a new subscriber and you want to think about maybe joining my membership, absolutely, that is something you can do. We have a lot of fun on a membership, but I'll talk about that in a second. So if you like the videos, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give them a thumbs down, but tell me why. I can't change the content if you don't tell me what you don't like. If you want to support the channel, it's as simple as like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, hit the bell icon. The likes are the biggest thing you can do. Liking a video. If you've watched a video for 30 seconds and you haven't liked it, you're not doing any of the channels you love much benefit. You're kind of doing them a disservice. If you do want to support the channel financially, however, I have a bunch of ways. I have affiliate links down below. Like I said, I will find a purchase link for this at one of my various affiliates, either Blade HQ, Amazon, or something like that, and I will make sure it's available. Anything you purchase with the affiliate links directly supports the channel, especially the Amazon stuff. It doesn't even have to be anything that's a knife-related thing. You can go look for knife cases, knife sharpening stuff, and get shampoo and toothpaste as well, and I still get credit for it. Other ways you can support the channel financially. Like I said, I have a membership. It's all tier-based. All the members have access to my Gilded server, which is just like Discord. Baseline and premium tier members are automatically entered into giveaways that I do on the Gilded server, and the premium guys have access to a sharpening tutorial series here on YouTube behind a paywall. Other ways, and the final way you can do it, I should say, is I have a merchandise store on Ember Shirt Co. You can pick up my merchandise or other creators' merchandise at a discount of 10% off if you use my coupon code CrazySharp, capital C, capital S, CrazySharp. There's a link to that merchandise store down below. Like I said, not just my merchandise, any of the other creators' merchandise that you see on there, you can use that coupon code. So, guys, that's it on this one. It was a lot of fun having this here at the house. I hope you enjoyed it. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. And I will see you in the next video.